Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Zaleski Sports Show. This is episode 2 of 3 in our Milwaukee Brewers season preview, and today we're going to talk about pitching. If you recall, yesterday we talked all about the hitting and the hitting woes from 2001. Again, as the season went on, the Milwaukee bats got colder and colder, and as the season went on last year, the pitching got hotter and hotter. As a matter of fact, it got hot all the way to the Cy Young Award, where the Milwaukee Brewers had not one, but two Cy Young pitchers on their staff, essentially. Of course, everybody remembers Corbin Burnes won the Cy Young Award last year. Brandon Woodruff also, he was fifth in the voting for the Cy Young. Without Burnes, Woodruff probably wins the Cy Young. So that's why I tell you that they had two Cy Young pitchers on the staff last year. And we're going to go through some of those stats from last year, some real eye-openers that are out there, at least as far as the memory is concerned, if memory has failed you. We're going to talk about all that and more here in, again, this is episode 2 of 3. Tomorrow, going to give you my full season prediction all the way up and through the end of the season. So make sure to stay tuned for that. That'll come to you live from Wrigley Field tomorrow. So watch for that. For today, again, we'll talk about pitching here with the Milwaukee Brewers. It'll be a little bit shorter episode. A few headline pitchers, and you're going to know all these names. I'm probably not going to tell you anything that you don't know. This is more of just a reminder from what happened last year. And what the Brewers are hoping is that these pitchers can repeat their performance from last year. Because right now, as we start the Major League Baseball season again, there's been one game played so far. Today's game at Wrigley was rained out. They're going to play a doubleheader on Monday. And of course, the Scrooges at Wrigley Field are going to make you clear the stadium between games so they can get their grubby hands on more of your money. Be that as it may, no game today. So games 2 and 3 of the series will be Saturday and Sunday. Again, we'll bring you information from Wrigley Field on Saturday and Sunday. So we start our talk here today with starting pitchers. The starting rotation for the Milwaukee Brewers, we saw Corbin Burnes go yesterday. Had a handful of strikeouts, a handful of walks. Ended up not a great start for Corbin Burnes as it was. But again, Milwaukee Brewers bats not helpful yesterday either. 5-4 loss to the Cubs. So Corbin Burnes, Brandon Woodruff will go tomorrow. Freddie Peralta will go on Sunday. And then we'll have Adrian Hauser and Eric Lauer round out the 5 Brewers starters as they go here in 2022. Again, Burnes won the Cy Young last year. ERA of 2.43. Let's get it right. And in 167 innings pitched. With that, again, you had a Cy Young winner last year win 11 games. In 28 starts, you won 11 games and still won the Cy Young. That's how impactful the Brewers' pitching was last year when the bats were just plain dismal at times. Corbin Burnes, only 11 wins, still wins the Cy Young. That really says a lot. Brandon Woodruff last year had 30 starts. He was 9-10, ERA of 2.56. So again, he was 9-10, and a dominant pitcher. Would have won the Cy Young without Corbin Burnes being in the mix. So think about that. And again, a lot to do with what I talked to you about yesterday with the Milwaukee Brewers bats and how that worked last year. Fastball Freddie Peralta, 2.81 ERA. And the only, I'll skip what I was going to say there. I was going to lay a joke on you, not a good one. Won 10 games. He was 10-5 last year. Coming back. So big part of the Brewers' plans here in 2022, no doubt about it. Adrian Hauser, so he's the 4th in the rotation, and you've got to go all the way down to number 4 to find a Brewers pitcher that had an ERA over 3. Pitching was amazing last year, and Brewers want that again this year. And then Eric Lauer coming back, or coming in this year. Last year, 3.19 ERA, struck out 117, nearly struck out an inning. So pretty good stuff there from the Brewers starters. As we move now to the bullpen, and if I didn't say this before, let me say this right now. Brewers, by far, I would say that, big words, right? By far the best pitching staff in the major leagues. I dare you to find one other pitching staff in Major League Baseball that the Brewers would trade their staff for. just top to bottom. I'll give you ours. You give me yours. Doesn't exist. I think in the bullpen, you got to start with the back end, right? You got the lefty Josh Hader, the righty Devin Williams, two of the most dominant closers in Major League Baseball. These guys are just flat out good. 2.26 ERA last year for Josh Hader. And taking a look at, see, I'm looking down here, looking at some of my notes, 1.23 ERA last year. So let me just check that again here. I'm sorry, in his 5 years, 2.26 ERA. I knew something wasn't right there. A 1.23 from Hader last year, career 2.26. Last year, a 1.23 ERA, just flat out dominant. And then 2.5 ERA for Devin Williams. So, if you had to pick one that struggled a little more than the other, I think anybody would say it was Devin Williams. But still, he is good enough to close for most teams. Josh Hader probably in that conversation for the top three closers in all of Major League Baseball. And then your setup guys, you got a couple choices there. And your setup guys, you got Brad Boxberger and Brent Suter. They're both going to do really well. Suter is interesting, to me anyway. His fastball is about 85. So he's a very slow pitching, dominant pitcher, if you want to look at it that way. Very slow pitching, but he puts the ball in all the right places and is just very, very effective. He's only his pitching is only worth 20 runs since 2019. Just flat out amazing. And then we're going to look at a couple other guys that are going to come in and get you some innings. Hobie Milner and Jake Cousins are going to come in and get you some innings this year, and do a really good job, I think, for the Milwaukee Brewers. So pitching, you check the box, yes. And I remember giving you this talk last year. And pitching was a big concern coming into last year. Of all the things, right? The Brewers were figuring on winning games 12-10, 10-8. And of course, that didn't happen. They were very low-scoring affairs with low, as I just ran through them with you, low win totals for pitchers. Some of the lowest win totals for some of the best pitchers in Major League Baseball history happened with the Milwaukee Brewers last year. Brewers are set in their pitching staff. I think it's the best pitching staff in Major League Baseball. And I'm not sure if second place is even that close. Not sure you can even see first place from that second best pitching unit across Major League Baseball. So Brewer fans, if you like pitching duels, you like strikeouts, this is the season for you. And it's what gives Brewers fans a lot of hope this year, especially if the bats have problems. Again, it's just one game, 161 games left, but those bats looked suspect yesterday. So buckle up, Brewers fans. Enjoy the pitching this year, and that'll be one of your first indicators if these Brewers. And again, I think they run away with the NL Central, but the pitching will be that indicator that you'll see early. The first, say, 3 starts, you get 3 times through that rotation, and then we'll look, and I'll help you with this. We'll take a look back at it and see the first 3 times through where these Brewers stand, and I think that will tell us a lot about what the Brewers can do beyond winning the NL Central in 2022. Again, we will bring you to Wrigley Field with us tomorrow, and you'll get my full season prediction. Again, I gave my wins, and I got the Brewers right where they were last year at 95 wins. But we're going to talk more about what the Brewers and my predictions for the Brewers beyond winning the NL Central in 2022. We will see you tomorrow from Wrigley Field.